Damn it, Michiko, why don't you listen? Because I'm stubborn as fuck.
We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fantasy. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello, beautifuls. This is Aromie here, and welcome back to Changeling. We're here, feeling like utter shit. But we must go on because I have to finish off William's route so that I can tell you the spoiler that I found out about this game when it first, legit not even 24 hours in, I already found a spoiler when this game was first released. Was it when that thing stabbed me? Is that how it got inside you? I thought it had attacked me, but what if it just passed through me and into him? Why didn't you tell us sooner? It hid itself away in the corner of my mind. I didn't even know it was there until it was too late. Try to warn you. The dreams, is that what you were trying to tell me? It wants to get the rest of itself. Try to get to the minds, but I managed to take control. I came here. We can't let it take over. Help me, please. Guess some Vilos are on the way. They're going to help you, William. You just have to hold on a while longer. He backed away, still clutching his head. I'm so sorry. I can't. No. My love, come back. His eyes went black again. That can't be good. I backed toward the door, but I wasn't sure if fleeing was a good idea. It would just follow me, and Spencer was still out there. I definitely didn't want to lead it anywhere near him. I wonder how Mark found William as well. Besides, Mark was here, and I didn't think leaving him was a good plan either. Don't worry, Mark, you're next. The thing that next in not death-wise, next in pursuing, sorry. The thing that was now in control of William's body peered down at its hands curiously. I flinched as it looked up at me. You're still here. Didn't quite know what to say to that. You also want to make me sleep. Couldn't really deny that. Nothing wrong with a good nap. I'm tired of sleeping, tired of being stuck in the same place. He looked toward the door of the building. The world has changed so much. I want to see it. I want out. Well, that's understandable. He came towards me, and I was so not okay with that. I swept a hand through the air in front of me in near panic. Shot and barrier again. It was really only a spell I'd properly seen Allie do, and well, last time hadn't worked out so well. But this time I did feel something. A rush of air followed by a faint ripple in the space in front of me. Did that work? My breath caught in my throat as the William thing walked straight through it. Having a body is inconvenient, but this one is better than most. Reason fled, and I whirled around, bolting for the door. I didn't get far at all. I felt its hand on my hair yanking me back. I staggered backwards, screaming in both fear and pain. I knew I should have cut that. It slammed me into the fucker. It slammed me into the wall next to the door. I barely managed to catch myself with my hands to keep my face from being flattened on the weathered wood. I choked out a gasp as I felt its head next to mine. I'm not sure what to do with you. He doesn't want to hurt you. I would prefer you not to hurt me too. But if I keep you, he won't stay asleep. Can you stop doing creepy things with my protege's face? I had never in my life been so glad to hear someone's voice. Yes. Was it too thrill to see her swinging that utility bar at us, though? William let me go and ducked away from us both. I dropped to the ground, half because my legs gave out, and half because I didn't want to be brained by that thing. Guess stopped mid-swing and swept a hand out toward William. I really wasn't sure if she was a telekinetic or magic user, but a blast of hot wind and light spiraled away from her. He wasn't quick enough this time. It struck him in the chest and sent him flying back before spreading into a thin web that covered him and pinned him to the ground. Thank God you're here. What I want to know is why the hell you're here. Do you know I ran into your brother out there? He told me you were told to stay away. William asked for my help. I wasn't going to stay away. Well, your brother caught me up on what's going on, so leave and let the grown-ups handle this. Grown-ups? The only one I see is you. Others are on the way. She hefted that utility bar to her shoulder and to my everlasting astonishment actually pulled out a phone. I shot a worried look toward William, who was lying still for the time being. He was still covered in that strange web from gas. Yeah, we're going to be initiating that protocol. It looks bad this time. She flicked a hand toward Mark and he just lifted in the air and casually glided towards us. Well then, Guess shoved her phone in the pocket as Mark sort of plumped over next to me. Get him outside and get away from here. Yeah, I'll just pick him up and skip away into the sunset. In case you haven't noticed, he's a lot bigger than me. Listen up, kid. This is going to get ugly here. This is going to get ugly in here, and you don't want to be around when we take that thing down. That thing, that's William. It's not William anymore. He's still in there. What are you going to do? Kill him? Guess Wait, bitch! You're gonna kill him. You can't just somehow suck the guy out, William. Guess didn't answer. From across the building, I heard him slowly pick himself up. That little web of hairs didn't really seem to be, working. You're going to kill him, aren't you? I grabbed her arm. Are you serious? If we don't do something now, while he's distracted, we won't be able to stop him. I don't think you understand just how powerful a psychic William is. If that thing gets full control and really figures out how to control his abilities, it's over for everyone. She squeezed her eyes shut and for just a moment the tough facade crumbled. She swallowed hard and scrubbed her eyes with the back of her hand before looking at me again. It looked like she was barely holding it together. I knew this was hard for her. I knew it wasn't fair to be angry at her. I knew, in spite of everything, she cared about him as much as I did. More maybe, and she didn't feel like she could let it show. We're talking an apocalyptic scenario with this, not us. This is bigger than you, bigger than him, and bigger than me. We'll do what we have to do. We're going to try to save him, but the weight of everyone else is heavier than a single life. If I can't save him, then I'm going to do what's necessary. Now let me go. She shoved me away as across the room. William snapped that web and finally stood. I knew things were bad when I saw the whirling shadows pouring off him. The dust swirled at his feet as a gust of wind kicked up, but within seconds there was essentially a full-on gale howling through the building, shaking the walls, rattling the windows and kicking up debris. I lifted my arms to shield my eyes from the dirt and bits of flicked off drywall. Guess I held one arm out in a small pocket of empty space open in the midst of the chaos, a safe area where the debris couldn't reach. Take Mark and get out. I can't focus on Will and worry about the two of you. I knew I should listen. I knew I should let her do her job, but I just didn't think I could leave with the knowledge she would kill him if she had to. William was still in there and he needed help. We just had to find a way to reach him. Ooh, can I use the amulet? Do I still have that on me? I thought I just threw it in my backpack. Try to get through William by calling it to him. Trust guests to know what's right. Sorry. Using the amulet. I don't know if that will do anything, but something dawned on me as I watched guests move toward him. I had William's amulet, the one I used to fight this thing off before. Will it work this time? I mean, last time I had fought it off, it wasn't inside a person, but it was worth a try. I mean, before the amulet had literally made it fade away. If I could weaken it just a little somehow, I closed my hand around the amulet and darted around guests, heading toward William. Damn it, Michiko, why don't you listen? Because I'm stubborn as fuck. I didn't know if I could help him. I didn't know if I could save him. I didn't even know if I would survive, but I couldn't let him suffer in there alone. One was whipping around me, tearing at my clothes, tearing at my hair, lashing at my face. I held my arms up as I tried to push through those waves of energy coming off him. William, it's me. I could hear him screaming beneath the roar of wind. It was like fighting my way through a hurricane, but I had to reach him. I had to. William! I threw myself at him with all my strength and shoved the amulet into his solar plexus as hard as I could. What the hell is a solar plexus? There was a flash, everything went white, and the shockwave from whatever that was knocked both of us off our feet, flinging me away from him. All the chaos abruptly died, and the building went silent. Ugh. Did I save you? I picked myself up. William was no more than a few feet away, curled on his side. I crawled over to him, looking for any signs that he was, well, himself again. William? Oh, did I choose right? Did I choose right for the first time ever? And there he was, trembling and looking at me with a tear-streaked face. I was so relieved it was him and not that other thing. Shaking, I reached to wipe away the tears as I smiled back. Hey there. Oh, William, did I save you? I don't know if I saved you. I can't, like, full-on congratulate myself yet. William sat up slowly and closed his eyes. Leaning into my touch, he covered my hands with his own. Thank you, Michiko, for everything. I haven't done anything. No, you saved me. I think I can handle the rest now. It's finally gone silent. I saved him. He smiled sweetly, but I felt a strange sense of foreboding as he took my hands and pulled me to my feet. He took a deep breath and looked past me to the guest, who was watching us with a surprised expression. I probably would have found amusing in another situation, but it's still there. So I know what I have to do. William, what are you... Sorry, but I don't think I have much time. If I don't stop it now, I won't have the strength to stop it at all. What? I'm sorry. I really wanted us to have more time. Wait, bitch, what are you talking about? I really wanted to spend a lot of time with you. I can't. He held out a hand. He held a hand out, and I was swept away from him. It didn't hurt at all. It was more like someone gently lifted me by the arms and pulled me away. William, don't. She bolted toward him as I pushed away, but a faint light rippled across the air and she just stopped, like she hit a wall. William, what are you doing? He turned his back to us and... Is he killing himself? From somewhere, or maybe from everywhere, there came the sound of the world being torn apart. A trail of pale light ripped its way from the ceiling to floor, leaving a gap in everything, in the world, in space. Whoa! He has this much power? I stared at it in horror. What is that? Guess looked equally horrified. It's the divide. What? He tore a hole between the real world and the divide. How on earth? What does that mean? Guess what is he doing? William was walking toward that gap. Why was he walking toward it? He's going to go through and take that thing with him. What? No! No, why would he do that? William, stop! Guess grabbed my arms and held me. I fought wildly, trying to tear myself away. What are you doing? It's no use. There's no way you're going to make it through that barrier. He ripped a hole in space and time, Michiko. Think you're going to just walk through a barrier he erected? No! I'm pretty sure I don't even have to step in that thing and I would just disintegrate. Oh my god. What the fuck? I really thought I saved him and now you're telling me I didn't. Technically did, but didn't. Something in her voice made me look back at her. Tears were streaming down her face. I felt like there was nothing we could do to help Willem at this point, or at that point. We were going to have to just watch him walk to that place and disappear forever. That's what I thought anyway. He didn't quite make it there before his movements went jerky and strange. He stopped, and for a terrifying moment he was still. Then he threw his head back and laughed hysterically. Motherfucker. When I turned back toward us, it wasn't William anymore. He flung a hand out toward Guess, and I felt more than saw something coming toward us. She blocked whatever that was barely. Damn it, he lost control again. She got that much out before he flung in another round of I don't know. What did you call it? Telekinesis? Psychic energy? Whatever he was flinging our way wasn't visible, but I could feel the force of it, for sure. This time it hit her and tossed her off to the side. She hit the floor with a heavy thud, and now there was nothing between me and him. And this time I didn't think I had a way to defend myself. He held an arm out toward me and... I'm not scared of her anymore, because I know that's his mom. A familiar shape materialized out of nowhere. William's mother. So she hadn't been killed or whatever before. My legs almost gave out when the blast of energy came from William. It hit her full on, causing those black rags to flutter wildly, but none of it hit me. Really, she seemed more solid than she had previously. Stronger. Beyond her, William faltered briefly, and a look of recognition flickered over his face. The last battle between her and this thing hadn't gone well, so I wasn't sure what to expect. Before he could attack again, she rushed him, leaving only freezing air in her wake. Oh, her being closer to me scared me though. He didn't seem to have time to react before she hit and plunged her hand deep in his chest. Okay. He let out a scream and fell forward. Something large and black fell to the ground and wriggled like an oversized slug, dripping black gunk. It looked like it was trying to take some kind of form or make its way back to him. I scrambled to my feet and ran to William's side, pulling him away. Dazed, he staggered to his feet, but I couldn't support his weight. We both fell to the floor as the slug came right toward us. William's mother stooped down, her black tatters obscuring my view. What is she? She picked it up. It writhed its way up her arm, growing larger as if it was feeding from her. She screamed, a horrible sound that sounded more like rage than anguish. William was pale, dazed, and even though his eyes were open, it didn't look like he was really seeing me. I tried to pull him up again. William, come on, we have to get out of here. On the other side of the room, Guess was getting to her feet just as William finally came around. He looked around with confusion, eyes going wide when he saw the masked ghost. Mother, what? She looked back at us when he spoke. The mask had partially fallen away. For one moment, it was as if time slowed. She met his gaze, and as he reached for her, flung herself into the gap he'd opened, taking that black slug with her. Oh no! His mother sacrificed herself! Oh my god! The moment she passed through the rift, it evaporated. All that was left behind was a swirl of light. It passed straight through William. His face crumpled and he was suddenly crying. Oh my god, we're all a crying mess now. I didn't really see anything, not with my eyes, but I had the strangest feeling that somehow his mother was saying goodbye. The light faded and William curled over onto the ground, sobbing. Guess limped her way towards us and over by the floor. I heard Mark stirring as well. I knelt beside William, stroking his back gently. William? She said she was sorry for not being stronger. She was trying to protect me all this time. So that really was your mother. He didn't answer, but I guess he didn't really have to. It was obvious, wasn't it? Looks like she took that thing with her. Outside we heard shouts, footsteps. It seemed like the cavalry arrived. Moments too late, of course. Typical. I was still hugging William when the rest of them burst in. Guess had to spend several minutes catching them up on everything and assuring them the world wasn't ending today. Somehow, with William sobbing in my arms, it didn't feel like much of a victory. To my surprise, behind the slew of agents I didn't recognize, and one very annoyed-looking Vilos, was Spencer just lurking and watching, and I hoped it was finally over. Oh, sunshine after rain. Is this the last chapter? I don't know, but this is where we're gonna stop. The final bell rang as I was dumping my books in my locker. It had been kind of a weird day. It had been way too long since I was at school. Apparently the story was that I had a really bad cold. A cold that had apparently spread to other people like William and Spencer. All the club members knew the truth, of course, but the get well card I found in my locker from Reina was kind of sweet, even if, you know, pointless. Still wasn't sure how I felt about the ease with which the others just lied to everyone all the time to cover this stuff up. But it wasn't like we could tell them what really happened. I should probably go find Spencer. Michiko? William! I smiled slightly as I turned toward William. Were you heading up to the club? Always. He laughed quietly as I slid the last of my books in my locker and shut it. Want to walk up with me? Sure. I shouldered my book bag, and we walked quietly together for a moment. I wanted to tell you. Yesterday, we went to scatter my mom's ashes. How did that go? It was, well, I think a weight was lifted. From everyone. My father is leaving today. Things are still a little awkward with him, but I hope it might get better someday. I'm glad to hear that. I am too. She found peace. I mean, I could feel it. Right before the rift closed, she moved on. The ancient was stranded on the other side, but she wasn't. That's a relief. I'm so glad to hear that. And I was. No matter what she'd done during her life, no matter what terrible, desperate things she'd done, I was so glad she managed to find some kind of peace. William and I stopped on the stairs and he looked out the window. It's strange. Everything that happened was so awful and it was terrifying and horrible, but I'm glad. I'm glad I got to say goodbye. I'm glad I was able to see her. There was sadness in his voice as he said that, and a wistful look on his face. He might be glad, but I was sure that he really wanted what he really wanted was to have a happy, healthy mother that was still alive. I pulled him into a gentle hug, squeezing tight. He leaned into me, wrapping both arms around my waist. I'm so sorry I put you through so much. You didn't put me through anything. I keep telling you that. Ghosts, ancients, fairies. If I'm frustrated at anyone, it's those guys. The ancient, at least, is no longer an issue. There are only a few remnants that were left behind. It lost most of its power because of what happened. They don't think it'll be a danger to anyone anymore, but they'll be continuing to watch it. I'm still sorry you lost your... what does guests call it? The chorus? There are already others that have showed up. Oh great, I hope these ones don't hate me. He smiled faintly. The others have been with me for a long time. They're protective. The new ones won't be like that. That's a relief. I don't know how many times we can destroy the art class before Miss Taro kicks us out. He laughed softly and pulled away just enough to look down at me. I think my foul at the agency has probably gotten bigger again. And your defense's incident wasn't your fault. Besides, I don't even want to think about what mine is like now. Apparently, they've actually assigned Allie to me as a magic teacher because they think I desperately need desperately need to learn to defend myself. Thanks to Gas, everyone believes I'm some kind of reckless troublemaker. You were reckless that day. I'm glad that you believed in me, but you really could have been hurt. Well, it all turned out okay this time. He pulled me into another tight hug, not that I minded. Thank you, Michiko. What are you thanking me for this time? For staying with me. For being you. I'm not sure I even was me for most of the past few weeks, but you're welcome. Is it okay if I don't let you go this time? Oh, really? Well, I mean, eventually you'll probably need to. I figure they'll get upset if we just try to stand here forever. I felt him smile against the top of my head. Even if it's scary sometimes, will you stay by me? Of course. I'm thinking of seeing if Gas can get me one of those wrenches, you know, just in case. Maybe I should get one too. I laughed outright at that. Oh man, I cannot picture that. Oh, it's a cute little hug. He pulled away and placed a tender kiss on my forehead. Forehead kisses, bitch. Forehead kisses! Ah! Top notch. He pulled away and placed a tender kiss to my forehead. My smile widened as I felt a familiar tickling sensation at the back of my mind. Warm, pleasant, and very, very gentle as he whispered something to me. Not with words, of course, but that was okay. In fact, somehow it was even sweeter knowing he'd said it that way instead of out loud. Like there was a space inside my head that was just for the two of us and no one else. What did he say? Can I fill me in? In any case, now that one of the most important people in my life was a psychic, I was definitely going to have to get used to communicating that way. So even if it felt silly, I laughed a little sheepishly and whispered back that I felt the exact same way. Is that the end? Oh shit, I could just put that in the other episode. So that's what I shall be doing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that's some badass scary shit. Danny even lost one photo. I don't know. I really don't know what that photo is. But Williams, I unlocked them all, so yay me. I didn't mean to click. I just wanted the photo. Stop. Gimme. Yeah, there we go. So cute. So cute. William's route has got me fucked up in all kinds of emotions. Most of the emotions were in complete fear. I think this route gave me the most fear compared to Danny's route. Danny's route, I think I was more just frustrated with the way Danny was acting, and because of the two lone werewolves in that storyline just pissed me the fuck off. But William's route, I felt more fear and actual sadness. I'm not ready for the other routes at all. I don't know who I'm going to go for next, but William's route I really much appreciated. The spoiler that I found out of William less than 24 hours of the game coming out. Because I'm not gonna list their Twitter name, but they were tweeting about it, and then they did a spoiler upsetness about how William's route did not have a kiss scene in it, and they were basically saying that the kiss scenes are basically something that should be required in each route, and William's route did not have any of that. So if you can see here, none of it was really any kiss scene compared to Danny, where we had 2 kiss scenes. But I to be honest, I don't usually think it's a requirement, but I know a lot of us would like to delve into visual novels where our character, which we usually name after ourselves, we can envision ourselves to kiss the person that we love. But I think William's route, I think it was fine without the kiss. I do wish there was a kiss, but I'm not too iffy on it, just because look at the very beginning. William was hugging us for security and safetyness, but in the end, he's hugging us. So I like how that ended. It started with him hugging us, and then it's him providing us the hug, which I found adorable. And it's freaking forehead kisses, and I love forehead kisses so much because they're the sweetest thing ever. And I swear, whenever I have a headache, I would always ask Tyler to kiss my forehead. I just feel like my headache was slowly melting away, temporarily, of course, because I need to drink medicine after that, because he can't constantly kiss me until the headache goes away. But I always feel like forehead kisses is just like a great medicine. So I'm not mad. I'm quite happy. Okay, I'm really happy with William's route. Now, from Danny to William, which route I would prefer more? I can't really say. I think I like William's story more compared to Danny. But their relationship story-wise, I think both of them are great in that kind of aspect. But story-wise, I really love William's more than Danny's. But anyway, we have knocked out 2 guys, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 freaking more guys to go. Now, who do I choose? I'm really leaning towards Mark. So next episode, we're gonna start Mark's route. So I hope you guys are gonna be excited for freaking that, because I am. I'm excited to actually play all of the guys. I think after Mark, it's gonna be Ewan, and then I might keep Elliot last just because we played Danny, which was his best friend. So then we'll go to Corbin and then Elliot. Save Elliot for last because I feel like Elliot's route is going to be one of the silliest routes, as well as Corbin's. But next episode, we're going to go to Mark's route, so I hope you guys are going to be excited for that. And then we'll go to Ewan, Corbin, and end off with Elliot. So thank you guys for watching this far. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.